folks? Welcome back to the show. Hope you're doing well. So you probably saw, but old Bryan Kohberger decided to take a plea deal in order to take the death penalty off the table. I get the feeling the defense and Bryan had the realization as the trial was quickly approaching and probably felt real in a way for the first time. I think they realized, wait a second, we're about to get whooped in this trial. Anyone with half a brain can see that. They have DNA. We're going to get embarrassed. Bryan, they're going to give you the death penalty so fast, all of our heads are going to spin, and then we're just going to be sitting there at the defense table looking like dipshits. I also get the feeling that Bryan wanted to deny the victims' families and everybody that's against him the satisfaction and control over him of sentencing him to death. This way, he gets to retake control, deny all those people of the satisfaction of eye for an eye. I would assume if you're facing the death penalty, you'd be sitting there in your cell as the trial's approaching, starting to have some resentment going, these people just think I'm going to sit here and let them sentence me to death. You know what? I'm going to retake some control, take this surprise plea deal. It's another twist in the whole story. I get the feeling Bryan looked at this whole thing like a movie or a picture that he was painting, like the stories of the psycho killers that he was infatuated with that inspired him. So one more twist at the end, one more round of headlines is all good, I think, according to Bryan. I also think probably the thought of being in prison now isn't quite as bad as it was before he got caught. He's gotten used to it, and so he seemed really cheery and happy at the official guilty hearing, and I think that's where that good mood comes from. He felt like he was retaking control and denying the people that want to see him killed. And as part of the deal, and it was made final at the official guilty plea hearing last week, but he had to admit guilt under oath, and not just once. He had to admit guilt for the whole thing and then for each individual charge, and he had to admit that he planned it with malice and the whole thing, so that's worth something. He also waived his appeal, so no appeal. He also waived his ability to argue for a lesser sentence at the sentencing hearing that I'm sure is coming up quick. So he's getting the max on all charges, which is life in prison. He's getting the max except for the death penalty, of course. That is not on the table. What else? I think that's it. And boiler kicked on. The door's already closed, but I know people love the boiler. Boiler is officially on. But anyway, what a twist at the end. And something interesting and hilarious happened on YouTube as soon as Bryan, the word came out that he took the plea, and then it officially rammed it home when he, under oath, admitted, yes, I did it. It was me. I admit to it. All of a sudden, a new unintentional cringe comedy genre was born here on YouTube. All of a sudden, all the creators that went full in on Bryan Kohberger is innocent, all of those videos became hilarious. And nobody face planted harder than the Crime Circus guy, the dude that paints his face. Oh my God, it might be one of the biggest, hardest face plants I've seen on YouTube in a really long time. The Crime Circus face paint dude, for years, he was making these smug, confident, confrontational Bryan Kohberger is innocent videos, video after video after video. And apparently at the beginning, I read this in one of the comments, which he deleted. He's furiously trying to delete all the comments. He deleted all the videos. There was like 10 of them or something. But in one of the videos, or in one of the comments that he deleted, said something like, yeah, this is when he deleted these recent round of videos. It's like at the beginning of this case when he deleted all of his videos when he was blaming the ex-boyfriend. So I don't know if that's true, but according to that, he made a whole round of videos right at the beginning blaming the ex-boyfriend. Then it came out it was totally wrong. But the chunk of videos that I ended up watching where he convinced himself and a bunch of his audience that it was the cult of Odin that did it. And then I happened to see on his channel that he also did one of his investigations in the Delphi case, and he thought also that Richard Allen was innocent. So I thought, oh, I wonder what his theory of who did that one. It was also the cult of Odin. So I didn't click on any other of his investigations. They're not worth a boiled hot dog. But I would assume it's also the cult of Odin. Like, I would guess if he covered the John O'Keefe, I would guess he thinks that the cult of Odin ran in and hit him on the head and then ran out. See you later. And then maybe the Sarah Boone had her back turned and the cult of Odin ran in and zipped up the suitcase. It's all starting to make sense, people. And so let's put ourselves in the shoes of the Crime Circus dude, because as far as being a YouTuber, I've been doing this for 6 years. This is where he finds himself right now, has to be one of the worst spots to be in as a YouTuber. All right, so the Bryan Kohberger story starts out 2 years ago, I think it was, and he starts making these videos. And like I said, not only was he just coming out with a theory, it was this smug, confident, confrontational tone. One of my favorite parts from one of the videos is he goes, he's innocent. We know it, we know it, we know it. And then he goes, if you think he's guilty, then prove it. Imagine being one of the victims' families. They probably knew more about the investigation than even the public. Imagine being one of the victims' families and you're going through that whole thing and you're thinking, you know what, I'm going to get on YouTube for a few minutes, watch some videos, escape the nightmare that ended up being my situation. And you go on YouTube and there's some dude that paints his face saying that Bryan Kohberger, the person, the DNA, the whole thing, saying that Bryan Kohberger, if you think he's innocent, then prove it. It's like, dude, why are you so confident in your stupid theory? The first time, I don't mean to be mean, but the first time I watched his stuff or a few minutes of his stuff a while ago, I was thinking, this is some low IQ stuff. And then like 2 minutes later in the video, he actually says, I don't have the highest IQ. And I actually think that's funny and respectable to own it like that and just, yeah, you know, I don't. But then on the other side, it's like, if you know you're a little bit stupid, why do you have so much confidence in your theories? But let's just put ourselves, okay, so 2 years ago, he starts making this video series that Bryan Kohberger is innocent. Video after video, smug, confrontational. He's setting it up the whole time as like, this investigation isn't going to be cheap. People are donating in the comments. You know, you can do it on YouTube. He's making money. He's giving his Cash App handle out. This investigation, over and over again, he's saying, I'm a pretty good investigator. The defense team could use someone like me. He's innocent. We know it, we know it, we know it. If you think he's guilty, then prove it. Has this attitude to it. He was saying, this is this case, this investigation that I'm doing is the most important thing, more than holidays and birthdays and the bills I have to pay. And it's everything. And the people, the creators that were saying, I don't know, he seems kind of guilty, but we should wait and see to the trial. He was demeaning those and saying you can't trust these other channels. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Bryan Kohberger takes a plea deal and completely, clearly, no doubt about it, admits guilt. Okay, and so now you're the paint face dude from Crime Circus. You have 2 years worth of these videos that you've done that all of a sudden are proven to be complete embarrassing nonsense. So of course he deletes all of them the day or two after the official guilty plea hearing. They all disappeared, which was kind of a bummer because they were so funny to listen to and just go, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. It was like really satisfying cringe humor to listen to him. So confident, so smug, and then just eat as much hat as I've seen anyone eat in years. So imagine being him. You have to delete 2 years worth of hard work videos. I'm sure he thought those videos were going to be up for years, making money, getting donations. He painted the whole thing as this investigation isn't going to be cheap. If you're in with me, then, donate now to my Cash App. And so he's making money off them. He gets to be the rebel that's going against the mainstream. I don't care if they have DNA. He's innocent. We know it, we know it, we know it. And all of a sudden, the plea deal. And so you have to delete 2 years worth of hard work. And then since then, I actually haven't been checking the past couple days, but for 3 or 4 days, I was going to his most recent video. It had nothing to do with the Cobberger trial, but people were, as you can imagine, going, do you still think Cobberger is innocent now, genius? And some people were saying mean stuff, as you can imagine. I mean, he went so hard and so smug for years that you're gonna get people celebrating how wrong you were, but even people that weren't even being mean and just saying, so do you still think he's innocent now? Those comments would get enough likes in a couple hours to become the top comment on the video, and then an hour or two later they'd be gone. And so it's not realistic to eat your hat that hard, to face plant that publicly where everybody knew it was coming, and then you go onto his videos, there's not one comment about it. It's totally 1984 North Korea flushed down the memory hole, and it's not. That's the part where as a YouTuber, I'm sitting back going, damn, I can't imagine face planting that hard, having to delete 10 or whatever, how many videos it was, years of hard work that you think are going to be up there, working for your channel for years and years to come, and then having to sit there and frantically delete comments as they come in. And I always thought that because I'd watch a few minutes of his videos, and then you'd go down to the comments, and it's like, this is like La La Land in the comment, with as outlandish as some of his theories are and how confident he is in them. There's going to be pushback and people that don't agree with them, but then you go down and it'd be all positive stuff. That's the other thing. The comments were probably as funny as the videos because he's going in there. We know it, we know it, we know it. Prove it. And then obviously it was totally wrong. 100%, but you go down and the comments are like, your insight into these matters is spot on, $25 donation. Thank you so much for finding the truth in this matter. And speaking of another hilarious little genre, or I don't know, happening right now on YouTube, is the Bryan Kohberger is innocent movement is in shambles, as you can imagine. You could still see comments on his video of people saying they made him plead guilty. That's what people are saying. It's like, bro, who is saying that? It's over. Just admit that you were wrong. Okay, so let's just recap where the Crime Circus dude is. He had to delete 2 years of his investigation because it was total nonsense. Now he's having to work overtime deleting all comments about it, personally, I think if you eat it that hard and you were that smug and confident about it, you got to just let people say their piece. Let them comment on the video. It'll disappear in your channel. It had nothing even to do with the case. Let them comment on some random video that you blew it. Let them be right. Move on. I also, it's interesting to think, what's he going to do? Is he just going to pretend it never happened, delete the video, delete the comments, and just move on and post interrogations and just act like it never happened and wait for people to forget about it? I always, whenever someone ends up in a scandal or makes themselves look stupid like this, I always pretend I'm a PR person for them that gets hired. And so here would be my advice. I'm going to try to help you out, Crime Circus dude. So what I would do if I were you in this situation, look, you shit your pants on an epic level publicly. That's obvious. So now, what's the best way out of this? I think that you were right for deleting the videos because they were embarrassingly bad. So I think that was correct. Delete the videos. They're gone. The people are, his fans are asking, where are all the Idaho 4 videos? I can't find them. We need them more than ever. It's like, but yeah, they're gone. But anyway, I think that was the right move. You can't just have those up. They ruin your credibility from years to come. Other YouTubers would have clipped them up and made endless videos of you making a fool of yourself. I would have done that if I wasn't, I'm a nice guy. I was thinking about downloading one of the worst ones and kind of splicing it into this one, but I was like, you know what? I knew he was going to delete them. I'll just let him do that. So I think it was right to delete him. I don't think that you should be deleting the comments. You got to let people just say their piece. To be honest, you deserve it. To make the comment section look like North Korea La La Land, where everything is positive and happy and no one's calling you out, it's not realistic. It just prolongs the whole scandal for you. Let people say what they're going to say on that random video. Who cares? After a week or two, everybody that wanted to say something will have said it, and then it will slowly disappear faster. But what you got to do is you got to come out, and there's one way, the right way to own it. And here's an example of someone on my channel, because on my video that I did, I think the title is something like Bryan Kohberger is dumb or is kind of dumb or he outsmarted no one or something. I kept getting comments during pre-trial like, you better come out, apologize. You went hard on Bryan at the very beginning for clicks. He's about to walk. He's about to get off. They're probably fans of his channel. You're about to look stupid. You better make a video right now apologizing to Bryan because he's innocent. And I just sat back and I was like, I don't know, maybe you're right. We have to see. That's the thing about these things. You have to wait and see. To come out super hard on guilty or innocent before the trial, you're setting yourself up a little bit. But I just said, okay, I'll set back. And then as soon as he took the plea, I went to some of those comments and said, what do you have to say now? And look at this one. This is the best way to handle it, and this is how the Crime Circus dude should handle it. See, this person a month ago commented on my Bryan Kohberger video, this segment is garbage. Pretending to read minds and put ideas and words into people's heads. Rubbish. And then after the plea deal, I said, what do you have to say for yourself now? And he responded, I'll eat the crow and admit I was wrong. See, that's all you got to do. Just admit it, quick, easy, got his respect back. There you go. Here's another one. This guy wrote a year ago, another fake libelous channel ignoring timeline of first 49 days. This cornball, that's me, pushing the fiction, still ain't oversight on this platform. Y'all got to take this trash down. And then I said, what do you have to say for yourself now? No response. But this is why I'm against all content moderation of any kind, because think how scary this is. This guy is sure that he's right, and if he somehow got the job of content oversight or moderation, he would censor me for saying the truth. All right, so that's what you should do. Just come out quick. Don't make a long 12-minute YouTube apology video. Just come out like that dude said and simply say, I was wrong. I'll eat the crow. I got humbled. I'll learn my lesson, and that's it. I'm going to keep moving forward. I'm going to keep making videos. I learned my lesson, and then that's it. Quick, easy, and then keep it going. And I think that would be the way. It is probably going to be a bit depressing sitting in front of the mirror, painting your face, preparing for the I blew it video. But that's just life, right? You gotta go through stuff like that. And I would guess he got humbled big time. And what I think he probably thought, I don't think he thought in a million years he would take the plea. So I think he thought, whatever, I'm going to go in, smug, this dude's innocent, full on, as hard as you can go. And it doesn't matter, because if he goes to trial and he's found guilty, I'll just say, whatever, trials, bullshit, science was bullshit, the evidence was staged, it's all bullshit, I'm still right, he was innocent, I'm going to stick by him, I'm even more of a hero now, here's my Cash App, support me, I didn't, and just, you could keep the whole thing going. You don't think in a million years when you're making those videos that there's going to be, wham, the surprise plea deal where he admits the guilt, and then it's just, oh, God. Damn it. But having to delete 2 years worth of videos and sitting there over the 4th of July weekend trying to delete comments and curate the whole thing where you don't look like a dumbass is about the worst place you can be in as a YouTuber. And so he's definitely feeling it. I gave him the advice how to move forward, just quick and easy. Boom, I blew it. I ate the crow. I'm wrong. I'm going to keep it moving. That's the smartest way. Let people say their piece. I'm going to cut it off there. What a wild story that whole thing turned out to be. But anyway, hope you're having a good start to the week. I love you all. See you next time. Why, Stiven, why, Shamita. I love you, baby.